So we've all been in that situation, right? You walk into a big meeting, you're ready to go, you've got this amazing presentation, and then you hit that wall. The room has an HDMI cable, but your new laptop, it only has USB-C, and suddenly you're doing the dongle dance.
Yeah, that's the worst. It just kills all the momentum in the room before you even start.
Exactly. So today we're talking about getting rid of that friction. We're doing a deep dive on a piece of gear that, well, it claims to solve all that connection chaos.
Okay.
It's the Key Digital KD X4X1WUTX. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, let's not say that again.
Let's just call it the X4 for short.
Deal. And, it looks like a simple wall plate, but the sources we looked at suggest it's really a whole connectivity hub hiding in plain sight.
Right. And our mission here is to figure out how this thing, this little box, bridges that gap between, a complicated AV rack and a user who just wants to plug in their laptop.
Simple as that.
So let's start with the inputs. The specs call it a 4x1 switcher.
Right, which is just industry talk for 4 things can plug into it, but only one signal goes out to the display at a time.
But it's the mix of those 4 inputs that's really interesting here. You got, 2 HDMI ports, standard,
Sure.
but then it also has a display port and a USB-C.
And that mix is so important. It's really designed for the whole bring your own device world we live in now. You might have an older corporate laptop with DisplayPort, but then the next person has a MacBook that's all USB-C.
So no more hunting for adapters. Or, the one that IT taped to the table that's now missing.
Precisely. It just handles it.
Okay, so let's shift to the feature that really surprised me. The documentation kept talking about a soft codec enabling system, which, I gotta be honest, sounds a little like marketing fluff, but when you look at how it works, it seems critical for video calls.
It is, yeah. So soft codec just means software like Zoom or Microsoft Teams running on your laptop. The problem is always getting your little laptop to connect to the room's big professional camera and microphones.
Right, you're usually fumbling with 3 different cables, one for the screen, one for the camera, another for the audio. It's a mess.
Well, the X4 solves that. It has USB host and device ports built right in. So you plug in that one USB-C cable, and suddenly your laptop thinks the big fancy room camera, like a KD Cam USB, is its own built-in webcam.
Oh, wow. So your laptop is the brain, but the room provides the professional eyes and ears.
You got it. It perfectly marries your personal device to the professional gear.
Speaking of the gear, let's talk about what's behind the wall. Because if this thing is pushing 4K video and all that USB data, it needs power. But I'm looking at the install diagrams. There's no power brick.
That's the magic of HDBT. Specifically something called PoH.
PoH. Okay, break that down.
It stands for Power over HDBT. Think of it like one super-powered Ethernet cable. It runs from the wall plate all the way back to a receiver unit, maybe hidden in the closet, up to 100 meters away.
100 meters.
Yeah. And that single cable is carrying everything, the 4K video, the USB data, audio, and the electricity to power the wall plate itself.
So all the hot, noisy equipment can be 300 feet down the hall, and the user just sees a clean, simple wall plate.
Invisible power, and it's still pushing 18 gigabits per second of data, so you get your full 4K HDR quality. No compromise.
Okay, but even with all the right ports and clean power, there's still the handshake issue. That dreaded black screen when the laptop and the display are just not talking.
The eat-eyed failure, yeah.
The extended display, what? Identification data?
Exactly. It's the TV telling the laptop what it can handle. And if that conversation is slow, you get flickering or nothing at all. The X4 uses what they call a full buffer system. It basically keeps that handshake alive and ready to go all the time.
So when you plug in, the picture is just there. It's instant.
Instant. And it's not just the video. The notes also mention auto-sensing and a CEC manager.
Which is huge for the actual user, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Auto-sensing just means if someone unplugs and you plug in, it switches to your device automatically. And CEC lets the wall plate send commands through the HDMI cable.
So what does that actually do?
So you plug in your laptop, and the wall plate can literally tell the projector, hey, wake up, switch to HDMI 1, and set the volume to 50%.
You never have to touch a remote.
If you have to look for a remote, the automation has failed. That's the whole point.
So when you pull it all together, what we're looking at is a device that's managing video, audio, USB, power, and automation, all disguised as a boring wall outlet.
It's a small, dedicated computer, just hidden in plain sight.
That brings up a really interesting question for you to think about.
Yeah.
We spend so much money on the things we can see, right?
Yeah.
The giant 4K screen, the fancy robotic cameras. But when you consider what this wall plate actually does, is it possible that the most critical investment in a modern meeting room is actually the boring infrastructure that makes everything else just disappear?
Because without that bridge, the destination doesn't really matter.
Something to think about next time you're hunting for a dongle. Thanks for joining our deep dive.